help a little bit. Yeah, kind of rest the muscles that are aching. There, that's better for a while. I'm gonna be careful, probably the first time you'll see my blood on a video. Well, one thing is for sure. It was the first time my finger tasted a moving saw blade. And it just kind of jerked and just enough to touch the blade, and boy, I'll tell you, that was scary. In fact, it was this very piece right here. That was pretty scary. Just kind of, it's just not like being cut with a knife. It's just really weird feeling. And even though it was not that deep at all, no blood, but it did hurt. Oops. Well, before I forget, I mean, this is a good time for me to start yapping, when I'm doing this. If you are interested, or give me write in my comments, or email me, and what you would like to see for me to show. I do, of course, I only do human caricatures. I'm not good at animals. In fact, I'd have to say I can almost count on one hand with fingers to spare how many animals I carved. Well, I would say more realistic animals. I've been doing a little bit of stylized. I don't know if that counts. Okay, it's going to be a while. I think we're just going to have to keep working with it. And I suppose we can use that hair, because of the hairline here. Now the picture, maybe I didn't bring this. I went on the internet and I've got all kinds of pictures. You go onto like Yahoo or whatever and find pictures of Lincoln, and this is really the only straight, and then this is the only profile. There's no real profile. I wish I can find a profile. That's just an artist's conception of, or maybe there is a profile. Somebody had to get the profile in order to put it on the penny, And I think that artist got this, and this is very small. I didn't print that out because as you make it bigger, it's very, very grainy. And here's the thing that's kind of interesting. Here's a picture where he's got this, and that's what I've been doing with my Lincolns. Whereas over here, you got the receding hairline back here, and then it's fine. We'll see if, since we had this picture, this is the correct picture, and so the receding hairline is over here, and it looks like it's just in this picture here. Looks like you can probably just see where the trees make an island, and then this is like the best I could find for when I've been doing my, in fact I've done a couple of these. This is one of my, let me see if I can get it all in there, and that's like one version. I got another version on Pinterest right now. This one here this is a more better update version. And this is all I did was cut the rim, or carve the rim, and then just put that hat in there. I'm just working this thing here. I'm making this a little better, a little different. Head is going to be a little smaller, but this is in the works here. In this here, I have it where he really is holding on to the paper like this, where the other one just kind of, I think I ran out of room. And here, his hand is going to be up higher because he's just going to hang on to the rim of the hat, because we got to have that round part there. Anyways, in fact, I'm going to be teaching this in our area in northern Minnesota. So that's what I'm going to be going on, because this is the right, according to this is the right size. Just to... Okay, getting back. Now I want to cut and get that ear box out so then we can work around the head. I need to take a V-tool to start here. Make sure I get the finger out of the way. And already, oh my goodness, I didn't notice that glove is already starting to fall apart. This is my chisel glove, which I don't want to slip and rip into my cuticles or something. But when I carve like this, so that's why I have a cheaper pair of gloves. Sometimes I use my good glove. It starts getting holy around the thumb and everything. Then I use that. I switch that, but even then, that still gets in there and doesn't last very long. I'm going to cut out. This is like, I think we're going to do this a few times here. Use the corner like a knife. How can you still see? The thing about doing the chisel is it kind of blocks the camera a little bit. And see, that's the thing that's a little difficult is because, like I said, I'm extending my arms to fit the camera. Usually I do this on my lap, and it'll get a lot easier. And then I'm on this table here, and I hate making this kind of like everything is falling apart sound of the table. And again, this is another one of those things where you would probably just turn the camera off and do this and come back, kind of a thing. This is kind of the boring part, the getting started part. Because what's going to happen is I might need to do that. I need to get a little deeper, quite a bit more deeper. The other side. And again, like I said, I'm using the chisel. You could use a knife if you want. I probably will soon get into the knife. I want to be careful about not taking too much around the forehead. Okay, there's one way of doing it. Let's go to the next level by doing another way. I think people prefer this better. It's a knife to make a stop cut. Make sure you don't come to the edge. I want to be careful. I'm getting close to the edge here when I make my stop cut. And the same here, as I'm getting close to the edge, I got to wear down like that. Same thing on this side. It does feel a little stiffer, this piece of wood. I'll cut to the And so that ear box block is coming out more. Oops, be careful. And we would keep working at this until we want that to come out a little more. Don't worry about the weird face right now. I did want to have a little more beard than the smaller version there. The rest should be going pretty good. Now what I did was I just brought the ear out a little more. Yeah, straighten it out a little. Let me take a look, make sure. Yeah, I kind of straighten things out a little more. And before we pencil in, I just want to do I did round the top of it. Just took a little bit off, just to get it started. Let's round it like that. And I want to take some of the back, just rounding it a little bit, because if you worked on heads before, that you want to make sure you got enough wood back here if you like slip and break the nose off. And going to clean that up a little bit. Present that a little better. And I just want to round it just a little bit, just so we're still making progress. Just to get it rounded. Okay. I like to start getting the nose in the eye socket. And we will use, I believe the eye was here. I can re-verify here in a second where everything was. Or maybe even change things around a little bit.